Guys, my last video was pretty pouty about my rat infestation. I'm not gonna lie, that's a problem. But I just want to make sure I do fully acknowledge just how awesome the garden is. This onion flower, it's funny. I really was growing onions, at least in part, for their flowers. And it took a long time. I couldn't get any to start. And now they are coming up exactly where I was imagining them, I was picturing them sort of bordering this area. So we'll see if they continue to develop. And here, even my little chives are going to hopefully give me beautiful little pom-pom flowers. I just am so excited. There's lots of little buds in here. I can, of course, grow onions, and I do eat them, but I really am excited to have their flowers, the thing I can't buy so easily. And have a look, baby strawberries already talking to us. Clover raging over here. I just am so excited to see all the flowers coming out. All the brassicas are bolting and sharing their beautiful yellow flowers. The alyssum is just raging. Speaking of brassicas, this is arugula, and it breaks my heart because I would love to be eating more of it, including eating more of these flowers, but I just don't have the heart to deny the pollinators. They're so beautiful. They taste absolutely delicious. I don't know if you like arugula. I like the stuff from my garden much more than the stuff at the store. It's just got almost a sweet spiciness to it that I love. I think I mentioned these sage flowers. I didn't even know these were going to flower, but they're already just so beautiful. Kind of sad. I don't know what knocked this flower over, but that is a theme. Things jump in the garden, things pro wrestle out here, and stuff gets knocked over. So I'm sad that my second coneflower is busted, but I'm not terribly surprised. It's very common. I also have, this is hibiscus manioc buds that are launching. This is a subtropical plant like tomatoes that should grow as a perennial. Look at those adorable leaves, seriously. They're like little dinosaur leaves. They are so cute. And this is a fully edible plant. You can barely see it with its long, skinny stem, but I'm really excited that it survives the winter and it's coming back. Cilantro has seen better days now that it's been totally ransacked by rats, but we're going to ignore that. We're going to just move on. We're going to take in the beautiful kale that's also kind of aphid infested, but I do get the leaves. I try to beat the aphids to the freshest leaves. It's one thing I've learned in the garden is don't necessarily go for... You have to be patient when you garden, for sure. Things take forever, but you don't want to just have the long game in mind. Sometimes you need to go with the immediate gratification and not wait for the long-term gratification because you might miss your chance. So I've learned to eat things while they look good before any pest can jump on them. I haven't shared a funny story about that with some tomatoes I was waiting for last season. I should share that video. Chard is looking great, and I had made some videos earlier this month that I haven't posted, but part of that was a sad story in that I was starting to see the eggs of a fly that decimates the chard. But then we got a strong cold spell and I stopped seeing the eggs and I continued to harvest the chard. I've been harvesting it pretty heavily. You can see I've been actually eating those leaves pretty aggressively because, again, I want to beat the pest to my plant. I am going to have to share at some point, and eventually these flies, it's nice and warm. It's warm all week. I'm sure these flies are going to be back, and I will quickly lose the chard and the beets that are embedded in there as well. But it is what it is. And then here you can see the rats just going bonkers. I'm going to hopefully trace their steps and put out some traps that at least discourage them and make them feel like this place isn't just rat Disneyland all day. Last night I was out here and there was like 5 that ran across the fence. I sprayed them with the hose. I tried to. Ooh. And so here you can see that this plant is, like I was mentioning, meeting the same fate as that plant. It does totally break my heart. And they're just snapping these leaves off. The good news is that, the only good news really on that front is that the rats have not found this tree collared yet. I don't see broken branches, but I am not counting chickens before they hatch. I am expecting them to finish the leaves on the plants from that end and then find this smaller plant, which also seems to be in the clear. It doesn't have any of the signature broken leaves yet. And then they'll probably make their way, but I'm hoping to give them a scare. And look at that calendula. Look at that. That didn't even look as good last year. It's taken that plant a whole year to really establish. I think I only had like one flower all of last year. Amazing. You can see little dandelions down there. Dandelions are coming up everywhere, and it was really funny. I planted them deliberately everywhere, and of course people treat dandelions as a weed, but I was planting them everywhere, and I couldn't get any to grow. They just needed time. They are now taken off. Look at this, just a little flurry. And this flower that I discovered when I was on my rant about the rats is also making me very happy. It's in the shade right now. We can't really appreciate the color, but it's beautiful. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tour, today's update. Little things popping up. I'm trying to think if there's any immediate updates. These are some plants that were gifted to me from a participant in my classes. She needed to rehome them. I'm going to be transplanting them this week once I can finally get away from my desk and actually put in some time out here. Because aside from sulking on the rats, oh, look. Oh, I scared it, guys. Sorry, there was a monarch butterfly that I scared. But in the meantime, we're going to appreciate the bees, because that is making me super happy. There's a lot of bees out here. I actually bumped into one. It's cluttered with bees, which is exactly what I want. I'm sorry I scared the butterfly, but she had joined us. All right, guys. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Talk soon.